Hi guys and girls, I'm Obsidian Ant and welcome to the Universe Sim. This is a god game, much in the like of the old Populous games. It's been a very long time since I've tried a game out like this. Now this is produced by Kritivo. They put the game into Kickstarter all the way back in April of 2014 and they completed a rather successful campaign, ending up with well over $300,000. A few years later, the game is now in alpha access. It hasn't reached early access yet. That is something that is going to come soon by all accounts. However, you can still get into the game with a $40 pledge. That will get you into the alpha, and it will also get you into beta as well. There is also a demo available on Steam. However, that is just a tech demo, and the only thing you can do in that is simply fly around one of the planets. There's no gameplay in there. So the only way to get access to the gameplay is through a pledge. However, it is a rather expensive pledge, so it may well depend on how you feel about these sort of games. Right now, there isn't a whole lot of content there. There's about 1 hour's worth of play, but we're going to jump right in and take a look at that. The quick flyover of the planet there illustrates the world on which this game is set. Now, there will be many worlds like this eventually. Once your tech level reaches Space Age and you start off in the Stone Age, once it reaches Space Age, you'll be able to fly off the planet and head towards other planets and colonize the stars. But that is something for a later date. So here we are then on our very first world of Universe Sim. I've had a very quick breeze through some of the tutorials here. They're only text-based tutorials, so they don't really get you through the game too much, but enough to let you learn the UI interface and some of the various elements of the gameplay. So here you can see our first world, and well, we've got our epicenter. The epicenter is the very first structure of your civilization, the very central hub. So what we're looking for here is a rather decent place to start. Something with good resources in terms of wood, rocks and water altogether. Now, I haven't played through this much yet. Very brief look. The idea for me is to learn this as I go and hopefully give you a nice feel for what the game should be about right from the very early stages. Now do keep in mind, as I said, this is an early alpha game. It's not even in early access yet, but it seems to be making very good progress. So what we're going to do is zoom in here and have a look at where we're going to place our epicenter. Now I do want to go near some rocks. Here seems like a quite nice location, although I can't be sure, of course. But we also want to be near a water source. So right there, yes, we confirm that as the location of our epicenter, and you can zoom right in here. This is as close as you can get. Nice little look at our people here. The guy's going out chopping down some trees. The children have ran off to play by the looks of it. And I did see a lady go out somewhere, a little girl or woman. She ran off into the woods. Oh, it looks like she might be over there gathering some food. Up here you can see, I assume that's summer, that may be spring. 16 degrees centigrade, so nice balmy temperature for them, not too bad. Of course, some of you might say that's a little bit on the chilly side, but here in England, we're quite used to that temperature. So these guys, they're called Nuggets. They're our people, and they will do all the tasks needed to grow our civilization. And we need to basically manage the civilization, and they will do everything needed to keep that civilization running, assuming we can keep them running. Got our various resources down the bottom there, food and water. You can see they haven't got any water yet, and they've got a bit of food, and that's thanks to this girl going out. Now we can see the names of our civilization here. We've got Elu and Adahay. Adahay? I'm very good at pronouncing these names. And there's two children, which I don't know why, but they're not showing up on this list just yet. Now we can click Elu. She's the lady. And we've got a little icon over here. We can click that. And this shows her fertility. When this little bar reaches the top, it means that she's ready to have a baby. In which case, she'll go off to find a suitable mate. And thus, the population will grow. A little bit about the birds and the bees there. They will, of course, return back to their house in order to do that. If they haven't got a house, then they won't breed. But they will construct houses based on the needs of their civilization. So, assuming you've got the resources, they will go and do that. So what I'm going to do is give them some of the things they need. Oh dear, we're not looking too good here. Zooming through the clouds there, you can see the water flecks on the screen from the rain. So the rest of the area looks rather nice. And of course the storm seems to be centering right over my village. An omen of sorts, perhaps. So what we're going to do, I think, to start with, is look for a water well. Where do we find that? Under the resources tab? No. Oh, come on, there must be a water well here somewhere. All right, everything on this icon here is to do with the epicenter, the central elements of your civilization. So we're going to build a well here. We can rotate these around, position it how and when we like. That can be right next to Elu's cave there. And you can see that's now under construction. Oh, I've clicked on the middle button there. The middle button brings up your god powers. And we'll have a look at that. If I can get rid of that, we'll have a look at that in a little while. So, Adahay is now building the water well. What else do we want? We're going to need some food, I guess. There's only so much food that old Elu is going to be able to gather. For the moment, I'm sure she can gather enough for her own family. But as the civilization grows, we're going to need an increased amount of food supply. You can see over here we've got some more food. But since we're right near a lake, I think it wouldn't be a too bad idea perhaps to build... Oh, you can hear them talking now. I don't know if you can hear that. Do we want a farm? Or do we want a fisher's pier? Decisions. I'm going to build a fisher's pier as it requires less resources. So as I said, I only just started playing this. I don't really know what order is best to go in with these sort of things, but we're soon going to find out, aren't we? And over here they go, building. Have we now got... looks like I can see 3 adults there. Let's have a look what the new stats are saying. Over here you've got everything going right back to the birth of your world. A new nugget by the name of Akka has arrived. They're a little too small and squishy to put to work just yet, though. Kotoka just came into the world in the most inelegant way. Mortals are pretty gross. That's true. Kotoka has reached adulthood. Now to put them to work for the remainder of their existence. Yes, indeed. We know that feeling, don't we? Right, so hopefully they should build another house when and if they need it. You know, it seems a little bit strange that there was just 2 adults here. It seems the boy and the girl could well be brothers and sisters. I wonder if they are going to have children. How odd. What else can we build? So we can build a farm, but at the moment I'm not going to do that. We can build a water reservoir. You can see here we've got no water, and I don't know why that is. You would have thought the water well would have water in it. Indicates how much water is remaining in the well. It corresponds with how many nuggets can drink from it before needing to refill. So is that slowly filling up? There's only 1 water left. I'm assuming it can hold 16. Perhaps we need another water well. I'll give that a try. See, the trouble is, the season progresses along. You can now see we're in summer, so we were previously in spring. And unfortunately, the game won't tell you the prediction of the seasons. We ourselves know when the next season is, but we don't know how long it's going to take to arrive. But you can build watchtowers or weather watchtowers somewhere, which will actually tell you that. I'm not sure if they've unlocked just yet. The forecast tower, that's the one we want. Let's get rid of that well. Not going to build that just yet though, but without that we don't know when the seasons are going to change, and we do need to prepare for the turning of the season. When winter comes, if we haven't got enough food, then of course they're going to starve. So we're going to put another well over here. I'm not sure if we need it, but I'm doing that so I can test just what... Oh, this is filling up. That is filling up. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. If that did fill up, it will fill up to a capacity of 16, so fine. We've wasted a little bit of resources building the next well there, but I don't suppose that's too much of a problem. Right, we need to assign a fisherman. Who's going to be our fisherman? Right, well, Adahay is complaining they're thirsty, so Adahay can become the fisherman. Adahay, I assume. There we go. Done. Go out and get some fish for your people. Population of 8,266 fish. Up here somewhere we do have the stats for the world. One of these, I do believe. Or maybe I'm looking in the wrong place. Perhaps the stats were here. Yeah, here we are. So we can see there's 7 mammoths around the world, 103 black bears, 1,000 hawks, and 783 rabbits. Wolves. Rabbits seem to be one of the least populated ones, which seems very strange. You would think they are of the larger population size. You can also see resource growth and nugget growth, but those statistics are not in the game just yet. Something that's going to come a bit later, I guess. But at least for now we can see the various resources around, or at least in terms of the animal population. So our food is still at 11, our water is extremely low. What's going on over here? Oh, that well isn't filling up just yet. So let's have a look again at some of the other things we can see within the game. We've got our civilization's happiness there, which is coming soon. We've got our godlight here, which I guess gives us a little bit of illumination of the area that we're actually focusing on. This gives us some stats down here on the world, down at the bottom of the screen. We can see the planet's current oxygen level, right, coming soon. That's important because as time goes on, we will be able to travel to other worlds. So I guess some of the worlds might not have as much oxygen as we would perhaps like. Another storm there. Or maybe that's the other storm. The first storm having drifted off a little way. Okay, so what are you building here? Oh, you're building a new house. Nice that the nuggets will get on and do what they need to do. Plenty of wood around here for them is a nice thing. Now I could have selected to start further up here. There's some other biomes. If we spin the world around a bit, I do believe there is a desert here. At least there was on the world I started when I was taking a look at the tutorial. But oh yeah, here we go, it's a desert. So this would be a little bit warmer. You can see there, 39 degrees. And not a lot of water around, not a lot of wood. So the sort of area they might struggle in. But I don't see, there's no poles or frozen poles of these worlds. So no ice or snow at the moment. Some rather barren rocky zones though, look at that. Probably none too pleasant either. So it seems we started in a relatively decent zone. And you can see the temperature here is a bit more comfortable. Right, food is being picked up, that's nice. But water still seems to be very much on the low side. Let's see what other things we can build here then. Our resources are continuing to be gathered. Should we put a farm down yet? I don't know. The demand for food seems to be relatively low. We can have a water pump again, perhaps once. Water pumps can only be built on the side of lakes with clean and drinkable water. They are needed to supply your wells and water reservoir. Oh, okay. So that explains why the wells are not doing too well. So hopefully one of these people will go over there and start constructing that, and water will start doing all right. Perhaps it is an idea to build a farm as well. Let's build a farm because soon it's going to turn to fall. It's going to turn to autumn. And oh, look at the size of this farm. Where on earth are we going to fit that? We can fit it there. Yep, we'll place the farm. Now we do need time for some crops to grow, so it perhaps was best to build a farm during the spring period. But who knows, maybe there's time to do that now. Let's have a look. Namabo just came into the world in the most inelegant way, yes. Okay. Kotoko and Akka have a new skip in their step, so maybe they are getting together. And we know that the water pumps would be required back there. And the stone hut has been complete, so our population should be growing nicely. You can now see we're up to 6 people here. Who's the eldest? Okay, no one Getting on too old there, really. I think they get up to around about 50 before they're considered an elder. And there, you can search for a particular nugget. Once you've got too many to actually look for, I guess they're all over the world at a future point. Now the water pump there, very Stone Age looking one. The icon on the construction panel is a little bit misleading because it gives you the idea of future tech, doesn't it? Here, modern day tech. Although, of course, the picture at the top is more relevant to what's going on here. Let's have a look what else we need to put in the epicenter here. So eateries are somewhat like watering holes of the Stone Age. This is where nuggets go to eat and make merry. All nuggets who consume their meals here receive a happiness bonus. Okay, why not? Oh my goodness, that's gigantic. Didn't expect the eatery to be as large as the farm. Oh, we can't place that on someone's house, I guess. Right, I don't want to place it on the stone resources too much. But we're doing all right in terms of the resources we've got available. Constructor's hut are responsible for repairs. We will have one of them, and I'm going to try and keep back a little bit to leave some room for the village here to expand. We'll place that there. Now I don't know what happens to the resources I actually place the template on, whether they get used up or whether they will actually disappear. Got a hospital and a cemetery. You know what I'm going to do? What have we got here? A forecast tower. That's the one I want. I am going to build a forecast tower, and we'll place this down here, nearish to the lake somewhere, if we can. You can let me do that? Just there. So they've got their work cut out for them at the moment. A lot of projects under construction, and a lot of them not yet started. We're into summer again, like I'm saying. Don't know how long we've got left of that. Right, let's have a look up here then. Opens up the Creator Powers menu. You can use the middle mouse button as well. Inside you will find a full list of godly powers at your disposal. Reward or punish. The choice is yours. So what have we got here? We've got basic object interaction, which I guess is the middle one, back where I was. And we got, let's have a look at this. Basic object interaction. This is the bread and butter of any god who doesn't enjoy throwing stones, trees or people around. The harder you fling an object, the more damage it will do to anything it hits. Okay, so so can we pick up some trees? Not straight from here, we can't. We need to use a god power to do that. Yeah, basic object interaction, which is just that. Construction influence. Nuggets aren't really programmed to do exactly as you wish, especially when it comes to construction. This is why you need a way to communicate your orders without drawing too much suspicion. Casting the focus power on a building will cause it to shine brightly and draw construction nuggets to either repair or build it. Well, that's nice to know. But they are currently building the one I want them to build. I should have really paid attention to that when I wanted the farm done. Inconceivable. Ever wondered how you lose 100 or so kilograms of useless fat? Cut him out of the relationship. This power will make a female nugget pregnant without the help of a male. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? Immortality coming soon. What else have we got? All of these are coming soon. These are very much what we would consider god powers. We can grow trees, plant a single tree, place 10 stones, and so on. Now, what I want is the real godlike powers. Anyone who had played Populous, and perhaps Black and White to a degree, will remember these powers. Lightning strike, earthquakes, although perhaps these weren't always powers in some of those games, were they? Volcano, tornado, meteor strike. Now, some of these will happen naturally to your world without your intervention, causing all sorts of problems. I don't know if they're implemented into the game just yet, these sort of weather disasters. Obviously, the magic powers are not. So the weather watchtower there is nearly complete, but let's have a bit of a zoom out and have a look at the white world of winter. You can see here now that it now looks very, very different to how it did right at the start of the game. So the weather very much does have a dramatic effect over the overall game world, and it does give a bit of insight as to what can be expected when players can visit other worlds eventually. So then, right now that is about it. This marks pretty much the entirety of the alpha content. There's perhaps a few things I've missed, but for the most part, this gives you a bit of an idea of what you can expect. Very shortly, we're going to be returning back to spring, meaning we've done a complete cycle of the seasons. Over the coming months then, as new technological errors are added to the game, it will of course continue to be fleshed out. But as I said right at the start of the video, it's in fairly basic form at the moment. There's not even a save option there, because the developers feel there's not enough content to warrant a save. Like I say, about an hour's worth of play. But what I do feel is that it gives you a very strong sense of what this game is going to be like ultimately. And I for one am very much looking forward to the space era and getting out to other planets. For now though, $40 is very expensive for what's on offer. So if you're very much into early alpha access of games, then it may be worthwhile. Otherwise, you might certainly be worth waiting to see how this one goes. It certainly looks like it's got a lot of potential, so be sure to keep an eye out on it. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and girls next time.